Hello, Abraham. My question today is about getting into the vortex. I've noticed as I was trying to record this video that I had a lot of things, specific things that I was afraid of, that I was angry about, and that caused me overwhelmment. And I wanted to ask specific questions, but then I thought I can just ask about the general emotions because I noticed when I feel fear, a lot of fearful things situations rise up. When I'm angry, a lot of annoying people come around and make me angry. And I noticed it's the root of the emotion. And sometimes it's difficult to find and focus something that would get me out of that mindset. So if you have any advice, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, what gets you in the mindset that is good feeling is wanting to feel good and being unwilling to not feel good, not willing to put up with the things that pick and nag at you. We liked the variety of emotions that you described, overwhelmment you brought up, and fear or anger, and we like the visual then of, depending upon where you're focused and how you're feeling, how you're lighted up on the board and what else happens around you. That's really good to know. But we want to call your attention to something that you're not always aware of. And this will help you. This will soothe you. You're not the only one. It's a rampant thing that happens in your physical world today. And we would say the majority of those who are participating with us on these broadcasts, this would be true of the majority of all of you. Your frequent emotion, because of your exposure to life, is one of overwhelmment. And then that leads to some of the other things that you were describing. Overwhelmment is an emotion that is present when an individual is doing something other than seeking alignment with inner being to take care of something. Jerry said to Esther some years ago, I think it's a good idea for you to meditate. And Esther said, I don't have time to meditate. And Jerry said, you don't have time not to. In other words, seeking alignment instead of going with the flow of too many things coming at you at once. Now, you're efficient and effective. You're a multitasker. You can dig in. You can get it done. You can power down. You can put your nose to the grindstone. In other words, a lot of you take a lot of pride in your ability to just dig in there. But then you begin feeling resentful, and first overwhelmed, but then resentful that the cooperative components aren't all that cooperative, but you're the only one that can attract them to you, and you can't do it unless you are zen or aligned or happy or satisfied. So this conversation is about deciding, setting an intention to align first and then. Don't let your day get ahead of you. Don't let your email box get ahead of you. Don't let your incoming phone calls get ahead of you. Don't let the demands from a number of employees or from your employer, don't let demands that others are making on you of needing something right here this red hot minute. Just in your own mind, set this string of thoughts into motion. I am the attractor of my experience. I'm the center of my universe. And my point of attraction is all that I can ever get a handle on. And when I do, the law of attraction will treat me real good. When I get a handle on my point of attraction, which means I'm feeling somewhere between satisfied or contentment and invincible, don't be willing to settle for anything less. And understand that it's not an action solution. It's a focusing emotion solution.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Esther. Hi, Abraham. I'm super excited for this broadcast, and I'm super excited to put in this question seeking clarity. Abraham, I've heard you say many times that a feeling is the first manifestation of me receiving from my vortex and receiving what my source energy has been tending for me. And I've had an epiphany since the last broadcast that it's actually every feeling. So even if the feeling is low on the emotional scale, it's the beginning of a manifestation that's inviting me to engage. And if I relax and focus on ease and just be present with it, I find that these feelings, no matter how dark they start, they're always leading me to a new place that I've never been before and a new vibration. So seeking clarity if I have that accurate. Thanks so much. Thanks, everyone.
Yes, that is accurate. We want to expand on it. We like that you're pointing out that that emotion or feeling is the first tangible, let's say, something you feel. In other words, the emotion feel, the first tangible evidence of the point of attraction that you've accomplished with the direction of your thought. What you're focused upon activates a vibration within you, and that vibration within you, as momentum increases, becomes the manifestation of a feeling. Yes. All manifestations that are feelings have the potential of becoming more. There really is no end to either end of the emotional scale. The feeling of joy and love and elation can become more and more and more. Your capacity to interpret it gets better and better and better, just like your palate in understanding the deliciousness of fine wine gets better. And in like manner, on the lower end of the scale, your capacity to discover greater and greater depths of disconnection from your inner being can happen too. And so, as you let these emotions be important manifestations, when you feel them, you say, do I want to encourage this direction? If it feels good, yes. If it doesn't feel so good, then no. That's why we call it the emotional guidance scale. The law of attraction is responding to your vibration, to your point of attraction, and your emotions let you know what your point of attraction is. Everything about deliberate creation hinges on your awareness of your emotions.
Hi, Abraham. I really liked in the last broadcast when you were showing us how Jerry made a decision to practice the vibration of getting his picture taken with the Prime Minister. And it started me thinking, where does made a decision fit in the Abraham 5 steps? Step 1 is ask. Step 2 is source answer. Step 3 is made a decision, I think, to practice the vibrations of the frequency you want to achieve. Step 4 is getting good at practicing that vibration that you want to achieve. And step 5 is also make a decision to see things as your inner being sees things, even when you're back in the contrast. Thank you.
And step 6 has to be the manifestation that matches your desire. Let's just say it. Step 6 is consistent manifestations that please you. And that's what every one of you are capable of and really should be living. 1 is ask. Contrast helps you do that. Step 2 is sources answering. You have a vortex with cooperative components that are being gathered. It's already done. It's done. Step 2 did it. Step 3 is you got to allow it by knowing it's in the vortex and not having your hair on fire because it hasn't manifested in fullness yet. Knowing that it's there and being glad that it's there and trusting that it's there and being glad that it's there and being willing to accept that it's there and then to watch for evidence of it being there. That's what step 3 is, allowing. And step 4 is just being so good at that. By good, we mean not occasionally good. We mean consistently knowing that the vortex exists and knowing, letting your intention be to be a cooperative component to it. And then step 5 is being back in step 1, observing more contrast, but feeling good about it because you understand the power of contrast. You understand that when you light up that end of the stick, you light up this end of the stick too. And step 5 is the stick is lighted and you are good at choosing which end of the stick you prefer to focus on. And step 6 is it manifests in every possible way around you. The money's in the bank, the lover is there. The people around you are consistently glad to be around you, and you are glad to be around them. Your prosperity is consistent. You feel good in your body. Clarity is how you feel. You can hit that basket from wherever you are on the floor. There's not one shot that is easier for you than another because your inner being knows the physical dynamics of where you stand in relationship to where that basket is and knows exactly what muscles need to be enacted for you to accomplish the physical feat of putting it in the basket every time. 6, getting what I want because I did step 5 enough, and because I did step 4 enough, and because I did step 3 enough, and because Source did step 2 enough, and because I did step 1 enough. You're doing all of the steps every day. You're doing all of them. None of you are always in step 1 just asking and not having your things come to you. And none of you are consistently knowing about your inner being's accomplishments. In other words, you don't always have your eye on the vortex. Sometimes it's on the pothole in the road. And step 3 is you're not always in the state of allowing. Or 4, good at it. Or 5, happy even when contrast is showing up. You're all over the place and it's all right. It's the process. It's the process. You can't get it wrong and you never get it done. Just know by how you feel whether you are in step 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. And then do what's required to move in the direction of the manifestation. Never let anybody convince you that you're not here to manifest. You are. You're supposed to get what you want. And don't. Our friend earlier was talking about criticism coming up. And we want to say that whether you are feeling criticized or whether you are critical of something else, you're still not doing what your inner being is doing. And so you're not allowing what's happening in step 2 to come to you in step 3, and you're not getting better at it in step 4, and you're not sustaining in step 5, and the manifestation is slower in coming. So take care. Get a handle on those emotions. Care about how you feel. And then manifest all the money you can spend. Manifest all the happy times you can stand, all the beautiful music that you adore, all of the timing. Esther sits in whatever her space is. Sometimes it's in this magnificent Abraham Hicks property. Sometimes it's in her house in San Antonio. Sometimes it's at the beach. Sometimes it's in a hotel room. She is knocked over by the way the light moves around in her life and makes beautiful moments in time for her to gaze upon. She is certain that there are thousands of opportunities that her alignment draws her to. Life is supposed to feel really, 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 really good to you and everyone else. But until you make the decision that nothing less than that will do for you on a pretty consistent basis, then you can be up and down and all around more than you want to be. We appreciate your taking us through the steps again. Step 6, manifestation of all the money I can spend and all the love that I can stand to receive or give, and all the clarity and all the being in the right place at the right time, and all the seeing a license plate and all the evidence of the universe knocking itself out for me. It isn't knocking itself out for you. It does it with ease and grace and joy. ease and flow.